What's going on? What's going on, people? It's Monday already. Already. I hope you all had an excellent weekend. April 4th. This is like the real start of the month. Friday was like a get it together kind of start. I mean, I started. I was working on Friday. But this is like the real start of the second quarter in business. How's it going? How's it going? If you're catching me later on in the chat, let me know how it's going in the comments. How was your first quarter going? Second quarter, you should be in full stride. I feel like I'm really starting to catch a stride during this second quarter. Of course, we go by 5 quarters. So mine started in, my year started in October, but I'm feeling like I'm starting to catch stride. So I'm excited about that. Guys, let me do some real quick housekeeping. Every Monday night at about 9 o'clock, it's a little early today. Early is good. When you're 5 minutes early, you're actually on time. And Wednesdays, we 12:30. It starts with me. Check out Joel Simmons. He's interviewing some excellent people. I'm not sure who he has on it this week. I think it was Marina, and I really like Marina. So go check him out on Wednesdays at 12:30. It starts with me, that podcast. Of course, Friday is Community Beacon. We're delving into what we would tell our younger selves. Last week Friday was really it was good, and it's just going to keep getting better. So you all stay tuned to that. That's Fridays at 6:30. That's a community beacon. And of course, you have me today, Mike. Yeah, you got me today, Mike, for some time. Um, and I'm just going to get right into it. Today, we're talking about always be learning. And in the midst of me learning and just going over some things, I came across a YouTube video. I actually watched almost half of it. I think it was Saturday, and then I watched it again this morning. I did about a half hour of it, and because I didn't catch the front part of the conversation. And this is done by a guy named Anton Daniels. It's doing a lot of things in the YouTube streets. And he brought on a certified financial planner. I believe her name is Jacqueline Plans. And she dropped us some knowledge. Once again, guys, do your research. That's what I found, especially when we're dealing with experts, etc. I don't doubt, that do your research. That's all I say. But I do respect, definitely, I don't know her as well. I just started getting her information and listening more to what it is that she has to say, because it was a very impactful YouTube stream. Of course, I do like Anton. Anton does show what he's doing. This guy, even during this stream, he put up his bank account information. You don't see too many people putting up their bank account information. And listen, a lot of people are getting got. Listening to people on YouTube, listening to so much information, right? So I heard someone to say, trust but verify. I think that's what it was. One of our presidents said it. Trust but verify. For whatever reason, I'm thinking about Theodore Roosevelt, but it might have been Ronald Reagan. It's one of those. I'll look it up. Long story short, let's get into it. Let's get into the conversation. And hopefully you all can hear it. All right, let's go. And I started from this point for a reason. I thought this was some interesting information.
Yeah, let's talk about like the wealth gap first. Yeah. So first things first, you guys do know, and I can see the chat. So what's up? Good morning, y'all. Do you guys know that the Black net worth, have you talked about this, Anton? The Black net worth is supposed to be 0 by 2053?
I haven't. It's an opportunity for you to educate us. Give me the game, baby.
I mean, it's crazy. Have y'all heard that stat before? The Black net worth is set to go to 0 by 2053.
So if she's going to talk about, I had to pause it there. She's going to talk about some other stuff, but I didn't hear. I never heard that. So this really had like my ears perked up in regards to by 2053. The Black net worth will be at 0, and this is not everybody, but it's on average it's going to be 0. It's all going to equal out to 0. A lot of people are going to have it, and well, some people are going to have it, but most people aren't. So we're saying 20 to 53 is 0. She gets into some other stats that I kind of knew. Let her keep going.
So
That's
we
crazy.
can take that stat for what it is, but we can also look at it a level deeper, and we can say, okay, this might be an indication of what you're talking about here, which is we're not even talking about a racial thing. We're just talking about the middle class going away. Right. So if
this ties into the stream, right? We're talking about always be learning. And I loved when she said, let's go a level deeper. You should always go deeper within the learning. Well, shouts out to Joel Simmons. That's how I told you, check Joel out on Wednesdays, and of course, both of us on Fridays. Appreciate it, brother. All right, let's get a little bit deeper into this conversation.
If this wealth is really a chasm, right? For a white household to have a net worth of a little over 200,000 and a black family to have a net worth of like 18,000, like that's a chasm.
Let's talk about that for a little bit. 200,000 and 18,000. What we do know is that most people's biggest asset, net worth, they gain equity through housing. Another way to have a higher net worth is to have life insurance. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able, you have no choice in if you spend your own life insurance or not, like unless you have whole life, I believe. And there are a couple of life insurance in which you can actually, that have cash benefits, but most people's assets, biggest assets, most people what attribute to their net worth is their home. So basically, what she's saying is by right now, if one person's home, one person is worth 18,000, that would pretty much tell you that they don't own a property, right? Because if they own the property, just the equity in it, I don't care if it's a pulled, a tear down, the land alone is going to be worth more than 18,000. But then if you do have some other liabilities, you could be having that car that is not worth it as much as it was. You could have, jewelry that you did things to, or inauthentic stuff. So credit card debt, etc. Long story short, it brings you down to 18,000. But for most people, if you have a home, you're gonna have a net worth of at least, let me not say at least, but you're gonna be at around 100,000. All right, let's keep it going.
That's not even a gap. So I think that number is indicative of what we're looking at with this closure coming, right? Where we are going to end up losing the middle class. Like it has been, I think what a lot of people miss is they only see the economic indicators when it smacks them in the face.
Oh my gosh. Sometimes you have to shout it from the rooftops. And this came, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. A lot of people were able to afford homes. Homes were, you could in 2016, 17, you could have got a nice 3-4 bedroom home under 300,000. I did it. Matter of fact, I helped a couple people get 4-bedroom homes, relatively new, maybe 10 to 15 years old. And that's pretty new, a 10 to 15-year-old house for under 300,000. I thought the one that I'm thinking in my mind, it was like 292,000. I think we got it for 296, and they got cash, and we were able to get the seller to offset a lot of closing costs. We made that deal happen. And so now this person is in the same property just by living there for the past, if it was 2017, let's say it was probably 2018. So 4 years ago, they've gained over $100 and something thousand of equity in that property. $100 and something thousand of equity in that property. Let's call it 150. $40,000 just for living, is not bad. Let me see, Joel. I'm able to see this now. Let me see what it says. Just started a program with the Federation of Families. We are instilling education within the youth, lessons like this that most Black families don't get at home. This is these type of lessons are paramount. And here's the thing, and appreciate you, brother, and the Federations of Families. You and Mama Jenkins over there, 1000% doing excellent work in the community, and you know, Joel is the other half of the community beacon leadership. So you know, we know how imperative it is for people to get this knowledge. And here's the thing: is that and they go and they talk about it, I'm not sure when they do, but this knowledge is out there, right? And so tonight's lesson, you know, going into what we're talking about in regards to what what it's going to take to master your craft, it's always to be learning, to be paying attention, and you never know where you're going to get this information from, right? You definitely, like I said, the YouTube and when you're Googling stuff, you know, you have to verify. No, like, let's make no doubt about it. I'm not telling you not to verify, but you have to verify the information. However, a lot of this stuff is documented. And I've been talking about the wealth gap. I've been talking about, and once again, this is not I don't want to make this a racial, just racial. It's not a racial thing. It's a class thing. And a lot of people, you know, if you're in certain classes, you're getting priced right now in Florida. You're getting priced out of the housing market, and there's nothing you can do about it. Okay, let me see what else she said in case there was something else.
That's true.
Right. So you only saw inflation really happening when you went to the grocery store and you're like, dang, why is this?
Let me talk about inflation really quickly, because some people aren't going to be affected by inflation. Right now, I think we're at 8% last time I checked with it, which is almost it's that's high. And some people are more affected than other people. Some people have to drive. I mean, imagine having to commute to work right now. Okay, and now you have to be very strategic on what exactly it is that you do. Here's the thing, and she spoke about it earlier, that you don't know until it smacks you in your face. What happens is that this month you might not mind paying the $4 or $5 for gas, whatever. I think it's, you know, it's late. I think we're a little under $4. We'll call it $4 here in South Florida. So you're about $4, or in Palm Beach. I think it's even more expensive in other places in Florida. But so you're paying $4, and so now what happens is you're putting that money in your tank. You're getting it. What happens is you're spending an extra $100 to $200 a month, and the first month that doesn't hurt. The second month you might be able to handle it. Now the third month is like, wait a minute, because where did those other $400 come from? Especially for people, well, not especially, most people have fixed incomes, right? So you have fixed income. So now you're not going to see the effect of it for 3, 4, 5 months out, especially if it sustains like this or even gets higher. Not to mention where if you don't own a property and your landlord is raising rent, because rents are being raised, because everything is costing more. Taxes are higher, insurance is higher, rents have to be raised. Let me see.
An extra $2. It used to only be $4. Now it's $6. Like, what? You only see it when it smacks you in the face. But for those of us who are on this live, for those of us who are paying attention, we see the economic indicators before they smack us. So we see that the middle class is shrinking. So we have an opportunity to either get on the high end of things or get stuck on the low end.
I was thinking about that as you say that, because inflation, like the official rate of inflation, is somewhere in between 7 and 8%. Supposedly, right? But for a lot of people, based off of their lifestyle, when you go into the grocery store, like you just mentioned, right?
I'm gonna leave it there. Let me remove this so y'all can see my beautiful face on the screen. Listen, people, we have so much information. Let me see. Stop sharing. Okay, perfect. There's so much information out there. I know. I get it. And I know we would much rather, we would much rather, I don't know, deal with escapism, especially when times start to get tough. We're just coming out of this pandemic situation. We don't, it's just everything left and right. We're hearing about all these different things, and I totally am in alignment with, we don't see things until it smacks us in the face. And I'm not, listen, it happens to me as well. But after it happens the first time, there's a saying that says, when you know better, you should do better. The only way you're going to know better is if you continue learning and continue seeking knowledge. We spoke about this on Community Beacon. You have to continue seeking the truth. Let me see. Level Up. Tenacity Foundation said, level up with people like you, Mike Sylvester Rhymes. You have to seek educational aids like you're looking for a brand new lesson. Be able to get up, get out, and get something. Hey, but that's that out Goody Mob song. Yeah. Like we're searching for these different things, and we're operating the way that we tend to operate out because, and here I don't even know if we can blame it on just plain ignorance. And sometimes it's just about feeling good, you know. But listen, before you know it, that chasm, what she called a chasm, what happens is it keeps widening until it's you can't even jump it. You can't even jump it. I think I was I just saw someone's pre-approval today, and it was at 4.25% from a traditional bank, big name bank. 2 weeks ago, it was 4%. And when this person actually started shopping for a property, it was in the 3s. So it's jumped every 1/4% is what they call a point. So it's jumped almost 4 points since this person started shopping, and could have got a lower rate. And there's a lot of different things that were attached to it. Most of it is just, a lot of it I think is fear. A lot of it is like looking at certain things. I don't even want to get into it. It's interesting. But whatever a person thought they were going to save, that savings is gone, and they're actually going to lose more money. We have to start understanding what's going on with these opportunity costs. Let me see. BMW get out. Let me see what else. By the way, you're right. Not just race, not just class. It's a people thing. Some people get less because of their surroundings, but eventually you get old enough to change your surroundings. Yeah. Or you can just go seek it. It's not even about getting old enough to change, right, Joe? I think it's more so it's about having to go seek it, because you have some of these 18 to 22-year-olds that are running laps around us because they find information, they seek it, and then and more so than just getting the information is also to apply. I think some of us have the information and we're not implementing the information. We know, who didn't know that buying a house made sense? Just because you read one Rich Dad, Poor Dad book, or you heard Grant Cardone, these are the two biggest proponents against housing, or you buying your primary residence, and you really got to see why they operate how they operate. Now, if you're following their model to the T, if you're operating businesses that are generating revenue, and then you can go back and buy a house and rent it back to yourself, or you can use that. You can rent a property because you're going to be moving around. There's all different reasons, but most of these things are exceptions to the rule. How many people are going to rent their property? And let's say you say because you rented, which I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you that you're renting, and because you rented, you're saving an extra $200, $300. I'll give you $300. Because you're renting, you're saving an extra $300 instead of buying a house. However let me give that to you. It's not true. I don't believe it, but I'm giving you for the sake of the argument. How many people are going to take that extra $300 and actually invest it in something that's going to give you a good rate of return? Because even if I'm paying an extra $300 and I'm living in the property, I'm still gaining equity. And yes, all the times it's not going to be like what it is now, where houses are gaining almost 1%, 1.5% in equity per month. I get it, but let's just say it's regular. Let's say it's historically the 6 to 7% that homes gain equity year over year historically. How many people are investing that $300 at the end of the year? That's $3,600. They're taking that $3,600 and they're investing it for, into whatever purposes. Then we're talking about the taxes, because you still got to pay taxes on that, and you're not getting the depreciation of your property. You're not getting your interest off. When you file your taxes, right? How many people are going to do that? The house is almost like a built-in savings account. You're getting that just for living. You're getting equity in your property just for living there. Even at what the rates are right now, I saw 4.25 on someone's approval this afternoon. I think they said on average nationally it's about 4.57. Even with that, rates are still historically low. The issue is finding the right person to go out there and get you the right property, and taking advantage of this instant savings that you can have. People keep learning, keep listening, above all, implement. That's it. 20 minutes. I said I was going to do 15 minutes. Sometimes I just get to talking, but I'm hoping that you guys appreciate it. Guys, check Joel out once again on Wednesdays. Like, share, subscribe if you like this information. Check Joel out on Wednesdays, 12:30. It starts with me interviewing some all kinds of not just entrepreneurs, just all kinds of people that have great testimonies, have great stories. Check them out. Let me see something. Joe says exactly $250 in IUO gain. Where the quarter will give you somewhere around $250,000 of 20 years. Plus, you can borrow off that without penalty. Get the information. You see, Joe's giving it to you. $250 a month. I mean, it's all different. The thing is, Joe, most people aren't going to do it. Most people are going to take, it's unfortunate. They don't want to implement. They will take that extra $250, $300, whatever amount of money it is. It's crazy because we had this. I had a very similar conversation on Friday in regards to this. I think, you just need something where you don't even see it. Your mortgage is $1,900, you pay your $1,900. But if your rent is $1,600 and now you have this perceived extra $300, that money's good as spent. All right. Appreciate you guys. Friday, Community Beacon. What we would say to our younger selves, you guys tune in. I appreciate you guys for checking in each and every week. If you're getting in here late, I love you all still. Joel, I love you for checking in. And I will see you next time.
I'm getting